Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Mitch McConnell is now widely seen as the biggest possible threat to getting work done in Congress at all over the next 2 years. If Joe Biden ends up taking office, then many of Joe Biden's policy goals, such as the Green New Deal, tax changes, and Biden Care, may end up dying with Mitch McConnell. After all, Mitch McConnell is proud of being considered the Grim Reaper of the Senate, where Democratic priorities go to die. Well, both Democrats and Republicans also claim they have a mandate to dig in, which all of this sounds like a nasty recipe for disaster, and it's raising a lot of questions about what this means. Is this bad for Democrats? Is this good for Republicans? Are we going to squander the next 2 years and nothing is going to get done until the 2022 midterm elections? And what does this mean for stimulus negotiations? What about the stock market, especially with the Georgia runoff election coming on January 5th? Well, let's talk about all of these and answer the questions about stimulus and stocks towards the end. Quick reminder, of course, the amazing programs linked down below that help you learn how to make money and build wealth have the largest coupon code we've ever had on this channel. It's down below. It's for our Black Friday a month sale, so check that out down below. All right, well, Democrats are hopeful that they can win a 50-50 split this January in the Georgia runoff, with then Kamala Harris coming in as a tiebreaker in the Senate. The reality is you need 60 votes in the Senate to be filibuster-proof, aka to actually pass a bill. So even though Democrats hope that a 50-50 split is possible, the reality is not much is going to happen in terms of changes for being able to pass bills without a happy Mitch McConnell. So you really have two scenarios here, and then I'm going to quickly explain what filibuster-proof means. The two scenarios we have are, number one, Republicans maintain control of the Senate. This forces Joe Biden to compromise with Mitch McConnell and Republican priorities, or end up facing 2 years of nothing getting done. So scenario one is compromising. Scenario number two is Democrats get to 50 votes with Kamala Harris as a tiebreaker. But even in this case, Democrats will still be subject to potential endless filibustering from Republicans. A filibuster is when one side continues debate on a topic, just so that it takes up so much time that Congress ends up going on recess before they actually get a bill passed, which we had a lot of over the last 6 to 8 months. Now, in order to end the debate in the Senate, you actually have to do something known as invoking cloture, which this takes 60 votes to do, and it ends debate. Well, neither party is going to have 60 votes. This means every bill that goes through the Senate is going to have some element of bipartisanship to it. This is why Mitch McConnell's skinny stimulus bill failed, because they can't get any bills through without 60 votes, and Democrats weren't going to go through it. But then you might be scratching your heads. Well, wait a minute, Kevin. If this is true about needing 60 votes to end the debate and end a filibuster, which filibuster, again, is just continuously debating so that time runs out, essentially, why is it that judicial confirmations can get through? We just got Judge Amy Coney Barrett confirmed to the Supreme Court with only 51 votes. Well, there's a reason for this. Quick history lesson. In 2013, Senator Harry Reid, a Democrat, lowered the amount of votes required to approve judges and cabinet appointments to 51. This is called the nuclear option. And so if Democrats get to that 50-50 spot and Kamala Harris can break a tie, Democrats would have the power of being able to approve justices unchecked by Mitch McConnell and make cabinet appointments without Mitch McConnell checking them. When this happened in 2013, Mitch McConnell actually called this a power grab, and he was really pissed off about lowering the required votes to approve Senate confirmations and make appointments to, or confirm appointments to a presidential cabinet from 60 votes to 51. He was not very happy in 2013. So when it was his turn in 2017, Mitch McConnell promptly extended the nuclear option to Supreme Court justice appointments. And this is how we ended up getting 3 justices appointed with a small majority in the Senate over the last 4 years. So when you get this kind of combination, you're in the situation where we are now, aka no bills get done unless you get 60 votes in the Senate. However, you can appoint people to a cabinet, or you can appoint justices with just 51 votes. Now, there's been talk about ending the filibuster, which is definitely a Democratic ideal at this point, because Democrats see, well, if we get 50-50 and we end a filibuster, we can plow through anything we want in the Senate. The odds of the filibuster going away, probably on the low side. Instead, Joe Biden is going to have to work closely with Mitch McConnell to get anything meaningful done in Congress. Fortunately, Mitch McConnell and Biden actually have a really good relationship, and they've had a great relationship for 35 years. This is really different from Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell. In 2013, Biden said it's possible for Republicans and Democrats to like each other, and pointed to Mitch McConnell, who was giving a joint speech together. Mitch McConnell was also the only Republican who came to Joe Biden's son's funeral. Biden and McConnell have worked together on multiple deals in the past as well, including a 2010 tax compromise that was negotiated between the two, a 2011 budget bill that was negotiated between the two, a 2011 fiscal cliff solution that was solved between the two. Now, Democrats argue that, well, Biden's able to achieve these things because he just basically rolls over to Republicans, and that the Tea Party back in the day was able to win because Biden just rolled over to McConnell while Biden was in the Senate. But on the flip side, Joe Biden says, look, in order for things to change around here, aka in Congress, quote, we can work together, and we have to work together to get anything done. Mitch McConnell has previously then, in response to this, said, Joe Biden doesn't waste time telling me why I'm wrong. Mitch McConnell even went on to say, quote, Joe Biden gets down to the brass tacks. He keeps his sights on the stakes. There's a reason get Joe on the phone is shorthand for time to get serious in my office. That's what Mitch McConnell said a few years ago. So you can actually see you've got this very unique relationship between Joe and Mitch McConnell. But now, obviously, things have gotten a little bit more heated. We've got these issues with Donald Trump. Obviously, now we've got this contested election. We've got the issue of, is Biden actually going to become the president? Is Mitch McConnell going to be the leader of the Senate? Pretty much expect that to be. But obviously, the animosity between Democrats and Republicans, no matter what happens, is at all-time highs. But fortunately, if we look to history, we can see that Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell as a duo for negotiating is actually a pretty good thing. It's certainly a lot better than Pelosi and Mnuchin negotiating, or worse, Pelosi and Trump negotiating, or even worse, Pelosi and McConnell trying to negotiate. Biden and McConnell, actually not that terrible. Now, first up on the agenda, a COVID plan for 2021, targeted relief also, including new rounds of PPP funding, stimulus checks, unemployment pay, housing and rental assistance. And these are items that both sides have agreed on. And so it is quite possible that Joe Biden might actually step into this negotiation, and rather than us hearing about, Mnuchin and Pelosi, we'll see Biden sit down with McConnell, actually get a deal on the things everybody agrees on, and finally get us stimulus relief. So this, to me, is very good news on balancing the views and desires of the country. Now, when it comes to stocks, many investors are really fearful that the Georgia runoff election could lead to another substantial market pullback if Democrats hold control of the Senate. But remember the scenarios we just talked about. It won't matter. Like, literally, due to the filibuster and requiring 60 votes to actually get bills done, the Georgia election does not matter to stocks as much as we think it will. The only benefit of Democrats getting a 50-50 win in the Senate would be being able to get judges in unchecked and do presidential appointments unchecked, confirmations of those appointments. So bottom line, if Donald Trump ends up conceding and, well, the Senate just progresses as we expect, whether it's 50-50 or 51-49, honestly isn't going to make that terribly much of a difference. The reality is we're probably going to be in a situation where we're going to see a lot of compromise deals between McConnell and Biden. And looking at history, this actually isn't as terrible as we think. They've done a lot of deals together before, and they seem to have a lot of respect for each other. There's your update here. Check out those courses down below next to the links for life insurance you can get in as little as 5 minutes, and of course Webull, where you can get 3 free stocks when you deposit just $100 worth up to $1,600. Check those out down below, and folks, we'll see you next time.